Yeah, I did the Star Trek tag where they always like, must fix my shirts, because in Star Trek The Next Generation, it seems as if all of the people in that show have to be like, oh, must make uniform look always strict and proper, and so they're always tucking their shirt in. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the second half of the Cafe Gallery. Hi, you guys are double plus awesome. This is fun. We actually did the feature first, we're doing the open mic second, and I know that following this is a singer-songwriter night, and if there are any musicians that might want to come up for the second round, we're more than happy to have people here playing music. I'm hoping maybe in the second round, Mr. John would want to play some music. I have no idea. Maybe you want to read something from Down the Dirt first. We'll see. But the first thing I'm going to do, because I usually have to read something to start off with, is to let you guys know that last week we had a bonus week with Francois Leroux, the Ha-Man of South Africa, who was here for a full show after his feature last week. Because he was only here for a few days, we couldn't pull off having him here on a regular scheduled time. And we had discussed, him and I, already for doing this whole show, what will our encore pieces be? And one piece that he really liked was this piece of mine called God Eyes. However, we weren't able to play it. So, I thought I would find some music of his, and it'll be a tight fit. And in fact, I think I'm going to pull this up here so I can read quickly to make sure I've got it in the timeline. This is music from the Ha-Man, Whistle Away, something opening. I don't have the full name of this. It's Ha-Man music, and I hope you enjoy this music, and this is a piece called God Eyes. It was a stupid point to argue about at 2 a.m., sitting at the lobby of the Las Vegas Hilton, listening to the clink and the whir of slot machines and the dropping of tokens onto metal. You believed in God. I did not. Even after 2 rounds of Sam Adams and 3 rounds of Bailey's, I knew you wouldn't change my mind, and I had no interest in changing yours. You told me of a dream you had. In it, you and Christian Slater played a game of pool. You won. He looked at his hands and he said, I've got a beer in one hand and a cigarette in the other. I guess it's time for me to seduce someone. And he walked away. You're a funny man. You make me laugh. Your brother even noticed that. You even spoke like Slater. Rough, mysterious. You were the optimist. Yes, there is meaning to life. I was doomed to nothingness, meaninglessness. But to me, you were the pessimist. You believed you were not capable of creating the power, the passion you had within you. I had control in my life, even if in the end it was for nothing. You think we are so different. We are not. It is now after 3, and we listen to music. El Jarreau, Whitney Houston, Billy Ocean, Mariah Carey, Natalie Cole with her father. That's why, darling, it's incredible. You mouth as you walk your way to the bathroom. That's someone so unforgettable. Why, take a spin. Watch me waft the words with you as you walk away. Thanks that I am unforgettable too. I tell you about the first time I got drunk. I was maybe 10 and asked my sister to make a mixed drink Mom had that I liked. She made me a few. So there I was, walking to my neighbor's house in the summertime, wearing my sister's 70s zip-up boots, oversized and unzipped, carrying my 7th drink and sticking out my tongue to see the grenadine. You liked my story. You laughed. Passion is a hard thing to describe. Passion for life. You must know and understand a spirituality behind it. You do your work, the things in life solely because you must. It is you, and you could not exist any other way. It is who you are. It is a feeling beyond mere enjoyment. You said that spirituality was a god. I said it was my mind. Once again, we lock horns. All of my life, I've seen people espouse beliefs and not follow them. Tell me you're not like them. Our values are different, but tell me we both have values and we'll fight to death for them. I need to know that there are people like that, like me. We are different, but at the core, we are the same. We understand all this. I'm grasping at straws here as the clock says 3:45 a.m. and the betting odds for the football games roll by on the television screens. You don't gamble. Neither do I. Why must you live so far away? You reminded me that I have a passion in life, that I have to keep fighting. But I get weak and tired of fighting the battles alone. I, the atheist, have no God and have to rely on my will. When I am weak, I struggle. You have your God to fall back on. I only have me. And you looked in my eyes at a perched morning. You stared. We locked horns once again. I asked you again what you were thinking, and you said, I see a God in your eyes. And later you said it again, and I asked you what you meant. You said, I see a God in your eyes. I see a soul. Well, whether what you saw was your God or just me, my passion, well, thank you for finding it. Goodbye, Miss Kuypers, you said when you left for good that day. I said nothing. Goodbye, Mr. Williams, I thought. Then I closed the door, walked to the window, started singing Unforgettable. I was alone in my hotel room, and the lights from the Stardust, the Frontier, the Riviera were still flashing. I'm not alone. Goodbye, Mr. Williams.
All right.
So the music wing has gone crazy, 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 and because I think there is somebody that really, really wants to hear him, I'm going to, before I call up John for reading stuff, I'm going to call up my handy-dandy, lovable sidekick who still wants to be heard. Are you here? I can't see him. There you are, my love. Give it up for the bouncer himself, Mr. Bob Rashkow. Woo!
Well, thanks for sticking around, Elizabeth.
Oh.
I'm going to read two. This is my latest. It's a politically incorrect rant. And it's called Big Bird Raked Over the Coals. Mitt Romney joint with profound apologies to Will Shakespeare, for Larry O'Dean, Brent Music, Hugh Iglarsh, and of course, Jason Sudeikis. Friends, Romans, fellow patriots of America, the 53% bountiful, I come to skin Big Bird alive and to praise him in the same breath. Now please don't misunderstand me. There's absolutely nothing wrong with monitoring our children's thoughts. I mean, teaching them how to read. My own kids watch PBS after all. And the CEO of Children's Television Workshop is an honorable man. So are we all honorable men. But let's get down to it. We need to focus more on the little birds and the little bees. I will dictate a decree, a better, more purposeful life for everyone, a nation of breeders and believers. We can do this. I screw my courage to the sticking place and I'll not fail. Now that dude in the Oval Office, he thinks I'm a funny guy. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous. He jests at scars that never felt a wound. Like that little prick I had to put in his place at tiny exclusive Cranbrook Academy, whatever his name was. But unlike my colorful opponent, I've mellowed with age like a fine brick cheese. So just to show there are no hard feelings, insert canned laughter. I'm inviting everyone to a fried chicken picnic in Lars Anderson Park in Brookline, Mass. Not too far from WGBH Studios, where it all began for our fine yellow brick feathered friend. It's potluck, and that means no cover charge. Because I want to see what you bring to the table. Enjoy it while it lasts. If you're lucky, you might meet a few of my other wives. Shh. Of course, we'll keep it simple. Remember, I believe in fair and equal medical treatment. Don't get me started. I've always admired Jonas Salk, Albert Schweitzer, and the Mayo brothers. By the way, be sure to bring plenty of mayo, ha 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 ha. We want our lifespans to come back to 60. I was naturally selected, but not by Darwin. Wait, do I even exist? Did you all make me up? This way an American can fulfill the promise of their preordained destiny with no nonsense or educational TV. Oops! Here were the Muppets. When comes such another? You all did love them once, not without cause. Mischief, thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt. Thank you. Thanks, and with a lot of help from wonderful Chicago poet, formerly of Philadelphia, Bill Yarrow, this is Burrito Architect. Search for him. He's hiding in there. There he is. Burrito Architect. It arrives, the structure already in place. I will remake it to my specifications, for that is part of my job. The foundation remains. The bulk held together by coils of cheese, suits of chicken, wallpaper of lettuce and onions, tortilla roof, painted with green sauce near a lake of yellow spackle. Build, separate, fold over, dip, masticate, swallow, drink, rebuild. Survey the property, reduced to nothing left except I am the burrito. I am inside the burrito, and the burrito is inside me. I have destroyed my creation. I hear my young cousin laughing as Aventura sings Perdi, Perdi. Oh. I go forth in search of one more construct. But don't forget your blueprints, Burrito Architect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was great, Bob.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
I don't know if he's going to come for round two. I feel really bad because I actually brought this iPod along with background noises, and I thought, I'm going to put this on while I'm doing a reading and see what on earth this sounds like. If anybody's interested in something like rainforest noises or something, I've got that. I'm actually, because I'm going to read two depressing pieces, I'm actually picking some Aboriginal music going on in the background. I am actually the editor of two literary magazines. One is C&D Magazine, the other one is Down in the Dirt Magazine. This happens to be a cover from Eleanor Leon Bennett, which is this really cool cover, which I like. And I was going to read two pieces, and they, yes, are both very depressing. So I've already prepared you for it, I guess. But these are poems. One of them, the first one, is a piece you have heard the artist before, Brian Looney. Let's see what the Aboriginal voice sounds like for him. Should it be louder? He says louder. Pretty good. There's some weirdo background music. This is from the September issue of Down in the Dirt magazine with a poem by Brian Looney called I Feel It When I'm Whole. Because the good is a good burden, a weight, a hassle. It gets so wounded, feels so limp. It gets so wounded, never whole. See it bleed on me, maybe soaking in. Because I'll befriend a vice before a virtue. Virtue must come later, after it has some meaning, when it's not so easy. Something I can stress. Appreciation is a gift. I knew it at first, but then I forgot. I remembered it when I festered. I feel it when I am whole. It's hard to call for raucous applause with my Aboriginal music and my mellow pieces. This is from Gary Landy from the September 2012 issue of Down in the Dirt. This is, I love this title because, you know, you want to throw in the towel, so I like this title. I believe I'm done with this proverbial towel by Gary Landy. Blood gushes in predictable fashion in every direction. This may be my final action. As his skin continues to tighten around his skeleton, we all know to trust what the eyes demand our first loss. Require a naming, a second. It is not caused by the medication, but by the body slowly shutting down. It's pretty helpless, walking in the deep snow, blowing what you yearn for is so unrecognizable. John, leave that on because I'm going to call you up to read a piece from Down the Dirt magazine, please, because I know you're going to read a funny one. Please give it up for Mr. John Yatko. No, this is so inappropriate music for the funny piece he's doing. So.
What do you call that, contrapunt? Something like that?
Should I please?
You know, I think it's kind of funny, just because I'm a fallen Catholic and former altar boy. It's called The Papal Groping Chair.
Who's about?
By Bill Wolak. Is it Wolak or Wolak? Wolak. During the 10th century, a sex test for future popes evolved. After his election, the new pope would be seated in an open-bottomed chair with his genitals exposed through the bottom of the groping chair. Then, the youngest cleric in audience would reach under the chair to inspect the pope's scrotum and to ensure that he was not a eunuch and therefore ineligible to hold a high ecclesiastical office. If the gentle squeeze revealed that everything was in order, the young cleric announced, "He has testicles!" To which the conclave would respond, "God be praised!" Oh, and by the way, Bob, Big Bird's net worth is higher than Mitt Romney's.
All right.
He's like, I'm going to be the one from Down in the Dirt. I read only one from CCD last time. If anybody's interested in submitting writing to CCD magazine or Down in the Dirt magazine, you can always come bug me because I've got like business cards and email addresses and blah, blah, blah. Or if you want to know, go to scars.tv on the web and you can find info about it because when people submit really, really short pieces, I might be crazy enough to read them in public and put them up on a YouTube, which people seem to like. So I'm hoping everybody's appreciative of that. And I think that there is a senior, 2 features from now, Mr. Senior Patrick Curley. Because I got these lights, I can't see. Is he around here? Who's my love? Give it up for Mr. Patrick Curley. Come on. I know, he's not here, so
Gary's
that's
not
why
here while
if you want to have something nature themed, I got my...
Are we going to do a round robin or?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, sure.
In the cold. We are in the cold, shivering our existence, grasping for something solid, holding the familiar. Our bones ache with time. We, wide eyes, yearn for rest, for peace, for sleep. Close your eyes. It is coming. It is there, behind the skin, where I see you. Hidden within a smile, bright eyes, open arms, there, I cradle your existence. There, the sign reads, fragile, please, use extreme caution. Behind the skin is where I mine your beauty, delicately holding precious jewels within the caverns of experience. It is there, behind the skin, where we are nude silhouettes pouring into each other, blending joy, caution, trepidation, gentleness, and respect into an ecstasy cocktail. It is there, behind the skin, where I enter your sepulcher. There, in your catacombs, is the womb of life, and we are reborn in it. My heart at the bocce bar. Between you and me, there is a glass on the bar. The din of conversations we never had but listened to in longing. There are libations beyond our capacity to imagine, and every elixir we would dare to consume in an attempt to forget who we are and imagine a dream we had. Between you and me are years kept to ourselves and brief moments shared with our favorite toasts. There's the love we long to share and the hatred we wish to escape, but share anyway in joking mannerisms. Between you and me, here, now, is the stale stench of the collected lives and longing which penetrates the back of our minds and returns with us to our hiding places. And here, now, dividing our skin, are the shields we carry, the badges we adorn, displaying our successes, our failures, our tired lives, reaching out cheers to our desire. Between you and me, there is nothing but the wall of fear we build to protect the little jewel within. There is nothing but the gleam of perspiration on a hungry forehead, ready for food, afraid to eat. There is nothing but the evening we share with the intention to forget, and we never do. Between you and me, there is a glass on the bar, and I chose this glass to forget that I was what you chose to forget. So set them up again, drink them down again, because it's the time between now and last call that remains between you and me.
Thank you, Library Link. I feel like playing some rainforest music just because I can. Nobody wants to hear anything, but I said, great, pick for music. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe I've got a newbie here. And I'm going to have some talking birds or something. Oh. I'll turn it off, I swear. Ladies and gentlemen, Louise, give him a real welcome. Yeah, come on, you okay?
Yeah,
Yeah, she's like, yeah. I've mastered these crutches, I'm on good.
it's actually the next Olympic event, crutch. Crutch.
I will turn off the first.
Thank you. How is everyone tonight?
Awesome! Woohoo!
Pay no attention to me.
Because you're here. I'm awesome.
Thank you. All right. How long do I have here?
Well, because I've got one of those old watches, and I don't feel like, well, we're supposed to have another 40 minutes, and we're going to go to another round robin. So if you'd like to come up twice, or if you just like to read the rest of them, 5 minutes, whatever's good for you.
Perfect. All right. Well, actually, I'd like to read something that I'm working on that I'm going to submit. Please. Thank you for listening.
Do you need a chair while you're up there, or do you?
Oh, no, it's fine. All right. Actually, yeah, that'd be fine, actually.
Well,
Oh,
a short one or short? Yeah. Could have gotten it.
all right. Get out of here. We are all created. We are all created. Therefore, we all have the ability to create. This is my sex. It is raw and naked. truly the source of all creation. This is the section of my writing. Please enjoy. This is called Sex and Brainstorming Dialogue. Thank you for helping me write this story. I will meet you halfway. Me too. I suppose that it is really the only way to do things, isn't it? I suppose. But I have been thinking of another concept. Really? Yes. The concept that meeting halfway is the only beginning? Is only the beginning? Continue. I believe as we grow, we learn to meet each other all the way. I see. So how do you suppose this is? And why do you think this happens in this way? Well, if anything, I'd say that it is because our parents are the teachers for a bit and continue to do so in very indirect ways. The children, the offspring of the parents, are the teachers the entire time. The whole life of the parent has been one lesson for them. So too are they the learning from you. What do you wish to teach him or her? I would hope something that can better their experience on this earth. Yes, indeed, I would say that it could be to. Sorry about that. It's a little bit of. Yes, indeed, I would say that it would be the best to teach only positive things to others. At least this is my decision of my own life, the experience of it all. I did not just come to this conclusion without any long, strenuous turmoil. In retrospect, it wasn't that bad at all. I see now that the enormity of it all. Thank you for bearing with me here. I see now that the enormity of all the situations of my life is the result of my perspective of it. The way I see things is going to be the way I experience it. But if I only see the good in things, in people, in concepts, and motives, then I suppose I will experience the good in those things as well. If I experience only good things in my life, then even the negatives in my life are only stepping stones for my positives. I like where you are going with this. Please tell me more about the way you got to this conclusion. Well, it was a bit amazing now that I look at it. I love the experience of it all. I learned that communication is the key to happiness, and at least in my life, in my experience, I have been most happy when I'm able to communicate freely and without any remorse of what is being said or done. But however free that makes me feel, it is something I also must practice with others. I also have to listen and really listen, not just hear what they are saying. So what is listening then? Well, I suppose true listening, embodies the person in your mind and in your heart. You can feel the things that they are not just saying to you, but interpreting to you. It is sometimes very hard for people to interpret words, let alone another word and concept from another language. This is why turmoil begins and is sustained. It is the lack of communication that beheld us to the whim of our fists in anger. No more is the case. No more does the grimly chained fist of anger hold me down. Instead, I grabbed its hand and I shook it. I brought it close to me and I embraced it as part of who I am, as part of a piece of my whole. I am everything that I can be. I am what I am when I am it. Even when I am not, I still am it. I can play the games and participate in culture. I do not have to fight it. I simply must accept it as a separate concept with its own sets of rules. It has this stigmatic word of conformity, but why is this word interpreted as a negative word? Does our body not conform? It heals us and conforms to the ways and tendencies of our daily lives. If not, then we would be just and not justly be. I appreciate the grandness of this all, this whole that everything is part of. The politicians, the bad guys, the good guys, they are all part of it too. I love them for their roles, and they choose to play. I hope they learn from each other in those experiences. They truly teach us lessons and allow us to exist. It would be like saying that the teacup rides at the theme park are the only rides. And that's just not true, now is it? No, it's not. Life is a ride that holds no bounds. It comes with the price of conformity to a certain reality at points, and the ability to be the setter of those conformities. What a wonderful place to be existence in. Thank you for this conversation. I think it's time to go to bed for a bit. I agree. Thank you for listening, all. And for teaching me by showing and not telling me. And thank you for being part of my, thank you for being part of my mother, my father, my brothers. And thank you, and I love you. And I love my family here and abroad. I love you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think if I knew how to pull that off, it'd be like, all right, you read one part and I read the other. You just make it easier because
Yes,
it's like,
please
thank
do.
you. Well, because it was just like, yes, okay, go on. And so there was different
This is
voices.
what goes on in my head.
So I'm like, you need somebody else. I think somebody did that to me once, and they're like, I have this role, and I don't really look like it. It was some prostitute role, I think, at Baloo. And they're like, you go do this, and I'm like, all right, because I'm female. All right, yeah, what do you want? And I was just trying to do a voice just to be able to do the other voice of what he was reading. But that was when you're hearing the conversation, I'm like, that would probably been easier to pull up, but that was very good. Thank you.
So next time, get somebody else.
Exactly. You gotta say, make somebody else share this with me. Well, at least if it's a conversation piece.
I'll probably be somebody else with a crush on their left leg or something.
Well, thank you very much for coming out up here. Thank you. I've got one more open mic before we do any sort of round-robin thing. So I know this man happened to write something about Atlas Shrugged, I believe, that was published in the CC&D magazine. And in 2 days, the part 2 of Atlas Shrugged is coming out, which is why I'm wearing my stupid little pin, because I'm one of the weirdos, outsiders, that's liking Angry. So please give it up for Mr. Don Arger. Don, get out of here! Woo! Sorry. Thank you. I was getting coffee there. And would you like some Aboriginal music or some rainforest music while you're here?
Get some rain.
I can give you rainforest. Animal. Wait, what did it sound like? Did you hear it before? It sounded like nature. No,
I think so, more rain.
I don't have rain, I'm sorry. So, I'll have to work at getting rain for you. Bring the rains to us this season.
Okay. Haven't really written much poetry the past few months. I've been focusing on a book that I've been working on. Title of it is Suicide Alley. This is the poem that from which it started. Greetings and welcome to Suicide Alley. Normally I wouldn't give you a second glance, but you look lost. If so, I can help. It's a dark place, as I'm sure you've noticed. Grays and blacks are the main shades here, with the occasional dark blue or indigo adding in a stray bit of color. There's other colors around if you know where to look, but they're often too depressingly bright for this place. Indeed, many find this constant gloom welcoming. Stand outside during a moment when the sun comes on, watch everyone clear out within seconds. Few of us live here. We see millions walk through every year. They mostly come in two types, tourists and visitors. Tourists come in groups, hold their heads high, and their eyes gleam with plans of escape. The visitors come alone, hide their faces, display their sorrows, and look for a corner to hide in. There are a few lost souls who find themselves here. They tend to have puzzled looks and ask halting questions. The lost souls are the honest ones, if you ask me. Back when I tried to help everyone, I found out the tourists were banking on finding their escape that would give them their happily ever after. And the visitors had convinced themselves death was the only way out of this world. Either way, they knew their lives would get better, and I can fit the truth in between their heads. Now I try to help those who look lost and leave the visitors and tourists to others. Need a place to rest? My apartment's nearby. I have a room set aside for guests, and the lights are always on. I've seen the darkness kill vital, lively people, and light, I've learned, is the best antidote. That's why I wanted the rain. It actually would sound good behind
I don't
that.
have rain. Hopefully it don't take that one. I'm sorry, I only have so much with the open mics, and I've got my background music, and I only happen to have rainforest and Aboriginal. I'm sorry, getting rain for that. So, because there was a debate last week during the bonus open mic I thought I would ask you. I have two things that are politically natured, although they really take the same side, I guess. So, would anybody like to hear the, hey, we're doing well for ourselves, what's happened to the economy, Mitt Romney side of things? Or would we like the, I want to be a lemming and give me stuff and give me the Obama side of things? Which one would you guys like to hear? I have no idea how they relate to each other. But,
Can I take something?
pardon me?
Can I take something?
Yeah, sure. Why not, sir?
This is the first recorded poem in history.
What's your name?
So all you anthropologists pay attention. I would liefer follow the condor or the seagull soaring from Kent than bury my Godhead yonder in the world of the dust of men. First recorded poem of it. Second recorded poem of history. Rose the blue cloud, my purple cloud pursued. Went the wild goose, and no more birds that day. Went the wild goose, and no more birds that day. I messed it up. Well, I'm sorry, I messed it up.
Thank you for coming.
Well, I tried, I give it a try.
That's the wonderful thing about this space. If you want to come up here, we want to hear you. So now I have to think, what am I supposed to read? So I didn't hear anything from anyone, so I don't know. I'm just going to this first one here.
Either one.
Either one, he says. So this is a piece called, and I believe this was in a show. Oh, when was it in a show? I don't know, years ago, about news. This is, this is in Stripped, the show Stripped at the cafe years ago. This is called Your Minions Are Dying. We seem to have allowed ourselves this fate. We seem to have asked for this. But maybe we didn't know what we were asking for. We thought we were doing the right thing when we chose you. But I suppose that's what the battered housewives say. He wasn't like this when I met him. He's a good man, really. But it was only after we accepted you that you asked us to sacrifice. You told us to have faith, like all those preachers who ask you to give when you've only be rewarded in the afterlife once you're dead, if you believe them. You told us we'd be free if we stayed together as a family. And it was like you placed your hand on the Bible and asked us to give up more for you. Don't most dictators ask their followers to sacrifice until they've been set dry? You weren't the only one fighting for me, you know. You had competition. You both tried to woo us over, even though the two of you were more alike than you think. Who am I kidding? You two were just like everyone else. You two were like two sides of the same coin. Yeah, you may have been on opposite sides, but you were the same damn coin. You men are trying to flip those damn toggle switches, and you don't know what the hell they do. But you'll act like you know, and you'll act like you've accomplished something. Are we supposed to blindly accept whatever the likes of you hand out to us? You try to act like you can save us, but there are people dying over here. We're jobless, homeless, dying. We're drowning in this ocean of helplessness, and we'll grab onto whatever line we can get a hold of. Is that why we counted on you? But your minions won't be strong enough to support you forever. That was actually set up like relationships, and it sounds very, very, very political, doesn't it? I don't know if they sing your, well, maybe I should do the Romney one at the end. Well, I said, well, that's not necessarily Obama asked, but I was just pulling those out because I'm like, I haven't read them in years. Is there a Bob Brash go here? Is there anything for, I can't see because I got lights. Is there anything you'd like to share with us, Mr. Bobster?
I'll do a couple more.
Yay! Give it up for the Bobster himself, Mr. Bob Brash. Come on over here.
Thank you. This is for Vito Carli, because he kind of inspired me to do the kind of stuff that he sometimes does. It's called Stream of Consciousness Poetry. That's not the title, it's just the melody. And the first person's name in it is someone I knew at Lake Forest College who was from Los Angeles, California.
Yep.
Gary Stedman. Very steady. A steady rain on the roof. Summer shower, April shower, on the Mayflower, Pilgrim's Progress. Summer rain falls from the skies. Hold on. Summer rain falls from the skies. Pilot the blue sky smiling at me. Smiling faces sometimes pretend backstabbers back street. I need the back street. Back streets are my playground in my mind. My name is Michael, I've got a nickel. Nickel bag, that's my bag, that's the bag I'm in like sin. Sinner man, the sins of the father fall on the son. I am the son of a rebel son. He was the son of a gun. Revolver. Revolver versus Rubber Soul. Eleanor Rigby versus Michelle. Eleanor Roosevelt versus Michelle Obama. Cat fight. And this is called Poet Ghosts. I'm not always aware that they are in the air. But sometimes a leaf falls in a funny way, or a rustling, hey, calls out from behind a bouquet, or a quick wave from across a diner, a sudden reminder of the writing hour. I might remember walking back from something, the bold, bright buffing of your cool, crisp words, and smile sadly to myself. Effie, Dixon, JJ, gone on their merry way, leaving remnants of burns. I'm not always aware, but they're there in the air. Thank you. He's still alive, but he's in prison.
I'm afraid he is. No, that didn't mean I wish he was dead. I didn't mean I didn't mean that like that at all. I didn't. I didn't. I swear. Norman Porter. That's his name. I just clicked him out. Well, no. I mean, everybody talks about him like something about him is just. And I always thought that. I'm like, oh, well, but I don't know the history of people, and that's why we try to throw our souls out with our writings to people, and I think I need to hear more soulful callings from my senior, Patrick Hurley. Patrick, get on up here, my love. Come on. That was the weirdest, there was no segue in that, but, you know, you're awesome enough. Segues are
Awesome enough.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear.
You're awesome.
Awesome. All right, so I'm reading from my 8th book, Screws Fall Out, my 5th book, Pull Tabs and Other Things to Stick Your Fingers Through, and my 3rd book, The Pain of Love and Loneliness, and one more that will be in the 9th book. For Nadia. Your eyes, looking up into mine, I tickle your tummy and kiss your feet. Smiles deeper than any ocean pull joy out of my dark shadows. Sparking a light within the void that holds the ankles of my soul down. And you, face aglow with the mystery of life. and the energy of discovery, giggling at the raw simplicity of peekaboo. Soon, this world will dull the shine, rob the light. Hold that ember tight. Warm your spirit against the cold to come. We celebrate and welcome you. Happiness, water, and a raindrop falling, filling my imagination with a world of memory, a universe of smiles, cast in front of unspeakable secrets, shining moon pearl eyes, staring into adventures never known. Happiness, silver shining dewdrop, poised on the needle of a cactus in a dry desert at morning, just after the birds stop singing their welcome sunshine song, just before the air is hot, when thirst is all that's on your mind. You walked and I ran, and I ran and I ran, and you were not there, but I was not. But I was not, but I was not, though distasteful and even disdainful. The events took place, the events took place, the events took, the events took, the events, the events, the events. There was nothing left to give, so nothing was left, and we gave more until there was nothing again. And we saw it for what it was, nothing. Then I walked away, and you ran. I held out a hand you drew within, fingers afraid to touch, closed. Then I walked away, and you ran. What was it I was feeling then? That thought of emotion captured for a brief moment, then set free to the air, lost from my recollection of thoughts that I'd had on spring mornings when the sun arises in you to warm the petals of eager April flowers, excited about the prospects of warm rain and days longer than nights when winter is put to bed for a moment and the true color of skin is seen beneath the pale shadow of steel gray clouds, grown anemic from life, then set free, then set free, then set free to question the value of freedom. While I sat, you stood with eyes joined, though love removed. Set aside for blindness, here it is now, open before us. The smile that was thrown away has found its way back home. And what am I to do with it? I generally don't like reading from electronic devices. But, I lost my journal, and fortunately I at least sent one of my poems to somebody to read, so it's safe. If it were coming, would you know it? Walking in the woods, leaf crunch under footfalls, the smell. Crisp air fills lungs, her hair, the scent of autumn. She is in your arms, so small, so small. Tears abate, your shoulder now damp. Simple, the events of life. Difficult, the events of life. You are her everything. She is in your arms now, safe. Her hair smells of freedom. This is freedom, you think, as she holds you close, tears abate, your shoulder dirty with snot. Leaves, the scent of leaves in her hair. I love you. I love you too, Daddy.
That was stuff you said that you had lost one journal. And for some reason, I think I remember that piece. Did you read that before?
I have.
You may have. And an open mic here, and that's a wonderful
I
thing.
have read that like a day after it was written.
And that's a wonderful thing about this open mic because it is now set up to be every other week. We try to record the open mics as well so that the off weeks for podcasts, for the features, the open mic would actually become a feature, which means that all of our ramblings would actually be recorded onto a YouTube clip or onto a podcast for a downloadable MP4 thing. That if anyone wants past podcasts, oh, this is so much more comfy sitting in the chair. Going up for round number 2, give it up for Luis. Get on up here, my love. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If anybody has an evil problem with being recorded, let me know and I'll say, okay, I won't record you, but there you go. Guess what? You're cheering now. I'm just really liking this space. There you go. Give it up for Luis. Woo.
Listens to time, reasons and rhymes. There's a time, there's a rhyme, there's a reason for the time and the rhyme every time. But there'll come a time when reasons don't add up, common sense ends, the cycle end reason, the rhyme of renewal, the time to wake up. This one is called Suon. Crawling towards it, so loud, I love to watch you, laughing, picking, not thinking of consequence. It makes sense. Take only what you need. If you do not need, you cannot take. But you accept, and I accept. It's called Watch Your Tongue. Give me plenty, give me none. Try me through the days undone, to show my colors and despair, and rid the foul from stanchly hair. A hair on tongue will soon recoil, and lay to rest inside the soil. Oh shit, excuse me. This is what I meant to say. I thought today a thought I'd say, when everyone was dead and gone, a celebration not mourning lies ahead for us all, to bear forever and ever. The fear of forever will wither slowly, day by day. It's all right, it's okay. To never feel the tears regret, a should have, could have moment when we got to show what we meant to say. Thank you. And do 2 more if I could. Fine?
Sure one's on this shirt.
This is called the Beloved Spirit. There was a spirit, he just couldn't dance. Cry and cry, sigh and sigh. The spirit jumped from person to person, but all were frightened. To think the spirit is a ghost, he'd be misguided. Back and forth, the spirit searched for a way to pay her rent. The American dream from the bridge, she screamed and leaped to certain welcome death. All right. This one is called. I'll do one more and then I'll do a really, really short, sweet one. This one's called Show Me Please. Don't say no. No, don't say no. Won't you show me instead? Thoughts inside your head. I'm sure what you say is good and true, but I won't believe it until I see it from you. And this it's called Will This Hurt? Will it hurt? Sure, it'll hurt. Sometimes the most painful lessons lead to true fiery bliss.
Careful there. And because there are newbies, and I let that go at that because they were just short, which was just fine. Usually the rule is you do 3 pieces or 5 minutes, but they were just a damn short. That was, sure, go ahead. Why not? We've got time. Please, ladies and gentlemen, round numero 2, give it up for Mr. Don Hargraves. Don, get it up here. Woo!
I remember J.J. Jameson. For some reason, I always felt like there was some big wall between him and the audience. His poetry seemed always into building this wall between the audience, and considering his past, all his past, if I may be partly liberal, bleeding hard about it, I can understand that. Anyway, a couple of poems. First, this I wrote soon after Osama bin Laden had been found and shot. Ignore the media circus. Here's the real story about the death of Osama bin Laden. Just finished with another night of poetry, and I was in the mood for something to drink, so I happened upon a 7-Eleven and walked inside. My first thought was to go to the fountain drinks section, but I saw a couple of ladies walking to the counter, each with a Jolt blue raspberry bottle. I smiled, knowing what I wanted, so I walked to the cooler and opened the door to reach for a bottle. "Woman, why do you advertise your shame?" I heard the man at the counter ask. Then suddenly came the crash of busted glass and shouts of, "Get down on the floor! Get down on the floor!" I dropped, letting the bottle slide away, then felt gun barrels on my head and back, and a shot rang out, followed by the words, "Got the bastard in his left eye." I don't remember much after that. From what I remember, I know I'm glad that I forgot most of it. Questions shouted at me point blank, and sitting in a chilly room without clothes are not memories one wishes to hold on to. Eventually, I was let go with a warning that I better not do anything funny. Needless to say, I drove straight home and drank water from the sink. You, of course, know what the rest of the story was supposed to be. Found in a Pakistani military town, killed there and dumped into the sea. Well, I can tell you that story is false. Just don't give me any Jolt blue raspberry drink, please. And finally, beginning of October, maples kindle in the east, linked to fire in the west, season in the west. By what? Maples used to shed brown leaves in the fall, but when the west started to dry out and turn fiery, the trees enclosed a message in their leaves, showing their suffering for all to see, and spread themselves out east, looking for a hero race to save them from oblivion. The people came, though no message was received, as now people drive around every fall looking for the telltale signs of trees ready to lose their leaves. A desperate cry for help treated as a thing of beauty. Thank you.
Thank you. I've got another newbie. And I don't have my list in front of me, but we've got a little time left, and I will say this again in case anybody didn't know, we are recording the open mics, and there will be a potential podcast, and there would be a YouTube video clip. If you say, no, God, don't film me, then we won't film you, but otherwise, you can have your name in lights, so to speak. So, Shahab, yeah, oh yeah, give it up for my new guy, give him a real round of applause, come on up here,
The man is trying to hold me down? Is it because I'm poor? Is it because I'm cheap? Is it because I'm brown? I don't care. I don't need you. And if I make it, I make it. I ain't gonna let you take it. It's mine. I work for it. It's mine. I claim it. You may hate me. I don't hate you. For the record, I probably won't date you.
Short and sweet. Thank you. You know, awesome people like that come up, and it makes me go, you know, have more stuff ready or whatever. I'm going to close off this way because we've got just a select few moments left, and because I had said an Obama versus Romney thing, and this was all written before Obama was around or anything, and so I wanted to give the other side of that coin when I gave an earlier one, which was your minions are dying. So let me give the other side of the coin, I guess. This one is called Outsourcing the American Dream. This was done in a show, I don't know how long ago, but tolerate me, thank you. Outsourcing the American Dream. We've been doing pretty well over the years, and I've seen you strutting around, showing off all your peacock feathers, feeling like you're the big man on campus. And you know, it had to feel pretty good. I know what it was like. I'd hold parties, and I'd change from one fancy dress to another, and I'd be the center of attention. I remember a Neville release party. My sister came, and I know she likes red rosé wine, and I was standing in the kitchen chatting it up when I saw her approaching. So I turned to the fridge as though wine was there, and as soon as she came over, I just started pouring that bottle to her glass, and she just stared at me and said, "Hey, I was going over to get some wine." And I said, "I know." And I just kept grinning and talking to other people and having a splendid time. Yeah, I know the feeling, like you own the world, like you're dressed up wearing a red robe and a hat and you look like you should be saying, "Where are all my bitches?" Or like you would take a black convertible out and you'd have the top down and you'd be dressed up in your fancy suit, ready to hold open your car door, just like you would hope any man would in their world. You'd show up at parties in tuxedos that you own. You'd give flowers to a girl that you were smitten with just after you'd met her, just to woo her. You'd go and jet-setting through the whole world, through Europe, visiting China. You were the one on top, weren't you? Well, you always have been. You're the man of the plan. You're the one who lives life to the fullest. You show the world how arrogant you are with your past successes. But, Houston, there's a problem. You might not believe it, but since we've been resting on our laurels all this time, since our fat uncles have been sitting on the couch burping with their cans of beer watching the football game while someone else has been doing all of the cooking and the cleaning for them, well, while we've been sitting there feeling cocky, thinking about how great we are, other countries have been training their students in our schools, and because we've been busy basking in our glory, we've outsourced all of the work we're too lazy to do, and we've trained everyone else to beat us at our own game. Oh, I forgot to mention, we were too busy celebrating our military and business accomplishments that we gave up on training ourselves to stay ahead. Well, while we've gotten lazy and taken a break for a while, everyone else has started excelling past us. And now we buy our Japanese technology, and we drive our German cars, and we drink our French water when we're not drinking our French wine. And we get as far away from the United States as we possibly can whenever we take a vacation. Well, I'm waiting for someone to realize that maybe it's time that maybe the economic fallout from maybe the economy will fall out from underneath our overzealous desire to get rich quick, and it didn't allow us to see how we've been the giants, how we've been first to fly an airplane. We were the first to land on the moon, and now we're the first in the world with medicine and healthcare. Speaking of healthcare, most people who can't afford it now because we've researched the hell out of our diseases we choose to kill ourselves with. I mean, stats say us North Americans have the highest rates of cancer versus the world. Our kids are fat. We work as many hours, but we still can't keep ahead. And we have this point that we can't afford all the fruits of our labors anymore. Do we bring up ourselves, how do we bring ourselves out of this when we want to get rich quick by suing doctors, forcing them to charge higher prices, driving up the cost of everything? We accomplish what people, we complain when people who are on welfare still on the average own 2 television sets, and every teen in America now seems to expect their own free cell phone. Is it that our standard of living is risen so dramatically that everyone now expects everything handed to them in a silver platter? Do we ask for more without working for more? Teens complain about not getting a job out of school, while their guidance counselors tell them that they might not have a chance. They might they might have a chance if they get rid of the excessive body piercings, or not wear the mohawk, or color their hair pink, or stain their skin with tattoos. And that's when teens complain that they don't want to work for a place that can't accept them for who they are. Our president wants to protect our borders from terrorists, but he wants to give temporary work visas to illegal Mexican immigrants so that other nations can do our work for us. And we wonder why we're unemployed. We get rid of excess building and manufacturing metals, which we think would cost too much to melt down and reuse, and we then take our excesses and ship them to China, where they build high-rises from our scraps. Yeah, we could talk about how we were the high school quarterback and how we scored so many touchdowns and everyone loved us back then, while we credit ourselves into debt because we deserve the good things in life, as we train each other, all these other people, to help us lose more in the world economy. Pretty soon prices will keep going up and we won't be able to afford the convertible or the nice clothes, or for that matter, any of the niceties anymore. And we'll recognize and we'll become a people who have the basics, but not much else. And we'll wonder how we became a third world country and never saw it coming. Because we're on a mountain slide, slipping into this canyon hole. But instead of enjoying the roller coaster ride before we crash and burn, we can stop it. I mean, can't we stop it? Can we stop asking our government to tie our shoelaces for us? Because man didn't land on the moon because we didn't work for it. So can we start to live off of what we can afford so that we can look back and look ahead to what we've accomplished? Hi. That was the longest rant ever. I didn't realize how long that was. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But half of it is true. Well, probably more than half. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you all very much. I think there was a man named Kevin up there who wanted to play some guitar, so you should be able to come up here, my darling. We'll segue us into whenever Garrett shows up for the singer-songwriter night. Get on up here, Kevin.
You want me to come up?
Sure, get on up here, Kevin. I can't say anything to save my life. Get on up here, Kevin. Come on. Have as much time as you need for setting up for your,
Oh, I'm
seat.
fast. I'm
You know all
fast.
this.
No, I walk. I stayed. Thank you.
Thank you.
1, 2. All right, well, actually, I'm crazy about songwriting. I'm not so crazy about performing, but I may be crazy before performing.
But you're crazy nonetheless.
I'm crazy nonetheless. But I actually started in poetry. I actually started at the Writers' Workshop in Iowa. This was like 350 years ago. So when I write, it's really the lyric writing part that is for the fun part for me, and so hopefully some of these songs will. I'll just do 4 real fast.
Here, let's do this.
What was easiest for you?
Oh, this is good. Okay. So anyway, these are all songs that I wrote. They're all love songs, and they're lyric heavy. And the last one I'll do is it's a cover. It's a love song. I think it's actually the prettiest love song I've heard this year, and it's good for a group like this who likes words because it's really, really simple. And
We like simple words.
Yeah. So these are really but it's what it shows. I think is how well-crafted words even simple words.
Without saying a lot.
Yeah, you can really say a lot without writing a lot. So, okay, this first one is called This Crippled Nation. And I wrote this I came up with the title and the first verse about 7 years ago, and then I just finished it last week. I haven't memorized all the words, so I've got it right here. So it's kind of a protest song and a love song at the same time. We walk away, I'm sharp and broken pieces of a love that we both knew was mad. We stooped to put the pieces back together, but they just cut us deeper. We bleed more, so sad. But I do see in the shattered love some hope with resignation. If I can just walk away, well, will peace come to this crippled nation? There is always mumbled speculation, gossip, rumors flying high, and they fly wide. Fantasies, they feed our desperation, but really there is nowhere left. There is nowhere left to hide. There is no wondering if anymore all the secrets have faded away. Well, I've heard too much of love slamming doors. There is nothing, really nothing left to say. But I do see in the shattered love hope with resignation. If I can just let it go, well, will peace come to our crippled nation? Our love is our own country, our own nationality, a place where we can rest and we can be free. This is my prayer for peace and jubilation, and can peace come? Whoa, whoa. Well, can peace come? Well, can peace come to this crippled nation? Thank you. This is the best crowd I've had in a long time. Okay, this next song is, I'll go through these quickly. This next song is, this is my most popular song. It's called Her Black, Black Heart. Is the line in? You want me to plug in the line?
No, it's all right. Keep going.
Okay. This guitar is loud enough. So, Her Black, Black Heart, and it's about a woman I used to go out with. She's very successful now, married. I don't know if she'd appreciate it, but... All my women friends love this song. I don't know what that's about.
But did you write it for her? What?
Yeah, I wrote about her.
Yeah, not for her, but not for her.
Nah, she's married. There's a whole other story that goes along with that. I've got another song, and it's about her husband putting me up against the wall. Anyway, that's a true story. So anyway, we won't talk about that. Nothing ever happened, believe me. Okay, Her Black, Black Heart. Needless to say, I got a lot of songs out of that. My baby's got a black, black heart, black lips and fingernails. She tried to scratch, true story, my eyes out last time I posted bail, but that was a while ago. Black silk stockings and short black dress, I'd give her money and a place to crash. She always smells dirty, she breaks every rule. Well, my baby, she is high class cruel. Well, a black, black heart makes her irresistible. She is so depraved, I think she's still there. Her black, black heart makes her sexy and vicious. She always gets what she craves. Well, and I crave and kiss her black, black heart. Her eyes are two empty holes. They burn like the blackest coal. Well, she's beautiful when she blacks out, but she has no soul. A black and red snake tattoo crawls down her back. Well, I buy her method green and black smack. Well, a black, black heart makes her irresistible. She is sick and depraved, and I love it. Her black, black heart makes her sexy and vicious. She always gets what she craves. Well, and I crave and kiss her black, black heart. Yeah, now my baby and I, we're gonna go and go until we die of that junkie's cold. If I had any sense and balls, I would throw her out. But it's true, I love her poison and I love her black, black heart. Her black, black heart makes her irresistible. She is sick and depraved. Her black, black heart makes her sexy and vicious. She always gets what she craves. Well, and I crave and kiss. Well, now I crave, I kiss. Well, now I crave, I kiss her black, black heart. Thank you. Yeah, that's a pretty, oh, forget it. Whenever I start talking about that, I get like these flashbacks, right? So, okay, two more. One, this is a quick one, love song. This is about a guy who wakes up in the morning and things don't go exactly as they usually go. And he doesn't know what to do. So it's called Or Lost in Me. Waking from the sweetest dream, I see you and smell your hair on the pillow next to me. I get up, go to the kitchen, you are beautiful in this morning light. Standing at the window, I'm so confused. Is this your place or mine? So how did this love catch me? And could this be the time? Well, the time when I stop running, being hard, being unkind. Fear makes me always run away, and fear makes me want to see. But there is no one more coffee steams in my pot. Oh, well, how much love have I lost, and how much have I forgot? The coffee burns and scalds, it's the only thing I feel. Well, how does love catch fire so fast, then just as fast become unreal? I get real things, I kiss you when I leave. My car is cold, the sun just up, but please believe I'm so damn scared I'll run out over you. But there is no one more in love or lost than me. So now this love it has bought me, and this appears to be the time. Well, the time when I stop running, I won't be hard, and I will be so kind, and I will not run away. Well, I'll stay with you, you'll see, because there is no one more in love. There is no one more in love. There is no one more in love, more happy than me. Thank you. All right, last one real quick.
So I do one more? She's ready to go.
Well, I was just gonna tell everybody one thing. No,
One more.
you can do the one more. You can do the one more.
I will.
For the poet night thing, crap, whatever, we usually say 3 pieces or 5 minutes, but you know, this is going into the singer-songwriter night. We happen to have this phenomenal thing where we had a feature first on the open mic, which is double plus cool that you were able to be here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to let everyone know if you're interested in anything from the beginning of the evening. We've got in 2 weeks Dave Gutchick as the feature. Then after that we've got Patrick Hurley in the beginning of November and the day before Thanksgiving. If you got nothing going on, come by and hear me talk about stuff with poetry for a feature as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Here, one more song for him. Thank you very much.
All right, well, I'm kind of mooching here, but this is not my song, this is somebody else's song. But for people who like words, I think you'll like the words here. It's called Hero. It's by a group called Family of the Year. They're really awesome. They're actually playing at the Empty Bottle on Friday night. And they're just beautiful songwriters without even knowing what they're doing. So this is called Hero. Very fast. We don't even need this. Well, let me go. I don't wanna be your hero. There it is. I don't wanna be your big man. Just wanna fight like everyone else. Your masquerade. I don't wanna be a part of your parade. Everyone deserves a chance to walk with everyone else, while holding down a job to keep my girl around. Maybe buy myself some new strings and her and I a night out on the weekend, and we will whisper things, secrets from my American dream. Baby needs some protection, kid like everyone else. Oh, la la di da, la di da di da di da, la di da, la di da di da di da, da, la da di da da. So let me go. I don't wanna be your hero. I don't wanna be your big man. Just wanna fight with everyone else. Oh, we will whisper things, secrets from my American dream. Baby needs some protection, but I'm a kid like everyone else. Thank you, poetry writers. Isn't that poetic? Aren't those poetic words?
Thank you.
You? I see Rich.
Just a few minutes to singer-songwriter night. Thank you very much for giving the credits to the poets, and thank you. And come back anytime or as early as you'd like. Thank you.